You see it in the shower drain, right? Or maybe on your hairbrush, and your stomach just drops for a second. It's that moment you start asking, okay, what is going on here, and what am I supposed to do about it? And that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Before you can even think about finding a solution, you have to get to the real root of the problem. Is it my diet, my genes? It can feel like a total mystery, but the very first clue is a lot closer than you think.
This right here, this is the mission. It's not just a good idea, it's absolutely essential. Just grabbing some random product off the shelf is like throwing darts in the dark. To really tackle this, you have to become a detective. So let's start that detective work right now. The very first step has nothing to do with treatment. It's all about investigation. It's about figuring out the why behind what you're seeing.
That's right. Before you go searching for solutions, you have to look at the evidence. And the best evidence you've got is your own hair and your own scalp. There's a super simple diagnostic you can do right now, today, that will give you your very first and honestly your most important clue.
So here's the thing you really need to hear. The location of your hair loss is a massive tell. It's not random. Where the hair is shedding from can point you directly toward one of a few main causes. And how do you figure that out? With something that sounds kind of clinical, but is actually super simple. It's called the hair pull test. This isn't some complicated lab experiment. It's just a straightforward way for you to gather the info you need to understand what your body might be trying to tell you. Okay, so here's exactly how it works. You're gonna gently, and I mean gently, pull on a few small sections of your hair. You're not trying to yank it out. You just wanna see what comes out easily. Do this on the top of your head. Then try the sides, the back. The most important step here is to pay close attention to where the hairs are coming from. Is it just one area, or does it seem like it's happening everywhere? That location, that's your clue. All right, now that you've gathered your evidence, it's time for the fun part. Let's decode it. This is where we connect the what and the where to the potential why. This is where it all starts to click. We can basically simplify the possibilities into three main pathways. And based on where that hair came from during your pull test, you can start to see a pattern emerge. So let's break each of these down one by one. First up, pathway number 1. If your test showed hair shedding almost exclusively from the top of your head, the crown, the classic hairline spot, that points pretty strongly toward DHT. That's dihydrotestosterone, a hormone that is a super common driver of pattern hair loss. But what if it wasn't just the top? What if you notice shedding from the sides of your head too? Well, that points to a totally different pattern. That might be a signal that there's a nutritional component at play, which is a completely different root cause. And finally, our third pathway. If the hair loss feels like it's happening kind of all over and it comes with other symptoms like itching, burning, or flaking, that's a big red flag for inflammation. See why a one-size-fits-all approach just doesn't work? An inflammatory cause needs a completely different strategy. So where does that leave you? Well, you've just taken a massive step forward. You've shifted from just being worried about hair loss to actively investigating why it's happening. That's huge. So let's just recap really quick. The key thing to remember is that location is everything. It's your critical first clue. It helps you tell the difference between a potential DHT issue, a nutritional one, or an inflammatory one. And knowing which pathway you might be on, that guides all your next steps. You've found your starting point. And that's the real power of this simple little test. It gives you information. Now, this isn't a final diagnosis, of course, but it is a powerful first clue that helps you have a much smarter conversation with a doctor or a specialist. You're not in the dark anymore. So the real question is, now that you have this starting point, what's your next move?